thing, you know, everybody talks about Graham being the grandfather of country rock and everything, but when you consider somebody like Gene Clark, I mean, Gene was folk rock, bluegrass and rock, and his solo stuff after the Byrds is fantastic. Rodney Dillard. Doug Dillard. Just a couple more comments, and I'm going to open it up for a little Q&A, and then I'll be glad to sign some books for you if you like. Yeah, after Graham did Safe at Home, he had kind of already hooked up with the Byrds and met Chris Hillman in a bank line, the famous story goes. And so he gets hired as a salaried sideman because David Crosby had gone off sailing somewhere. But now he calls you and tells a different story.
I love the fact that David Crosby was being busted. They came aboard his catch, and he decided to flush his grass. And of course, it all floated out.
Oh boy. So, moving right along.
Sorry, it just triggered that memory.
Well, we are talking about the 60s now, so these things come in waves. But, you know, Graham gets...
The night John Cornell forgot the word spoon. What is this? I can't remember what this is.
So Graham gets Crosby's place in the Byrds, then he gets his girlfriend, too, for that matter.
Yeah, Nancy.
So, you're going to read in this book about how Graham almost achieved Jim Stafford's prediction of being a country Beatle. Instead, he became a country Bird. In the book, we follow Graham through his years with America's archetypical band. John and Jim have mentioned the Flying Burrito Brothers. John playing on 5 tracks on their classic record, The Gilded Palace of Sin. The book also follows Graham when he drops the Byrds abruptly to go hang out with Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones in the south of France. And just at another serious point, in a matter-of-fact, non-glorified way, we do examine in the book how Graham's addictions undermine many of the personal and business relationships that he had. But on the positive side, Graham hit the lottery when his former bandmates called him up and said, "Man, we were at this place called Clyde's in Georgetown. There's this girl singer, and you've been saying you want to play with a girl singer. You need to check this girl out." So Graham goes up to Clyde's in Georgetown and meets an unknown folkie by the name of Emmylou Harris. And so we go into, the book goes into his recordings with Emmylou, GP, which was recorded 40 years ago this winter. Also his classic record, Grievous Angel. There's primary source memories in the book from musicians who actually played and toured with Graham and Emmylou as the Fallen Angels. Their landmark live shows in Texas, which really helped pave the way for the early outlaw country movement that Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings are so well known for. There's a picture up here in the slideshow of Graham and Emmylou. That's from the Liberty Hall show in Houston, Texas in February of 1973. And it's interesting, despite all the history they made, and despite the fact that, Emmylou gives Graham credit for putting her on a course for the Country Music Hall of Fame career that she enjoyed. For all of that, the two only worked together for about 9 months. And of course, we look at Graham's early exit from this world, but you will not find a retelling of all the sordid details of his death and the theft of his body and the failed de facto cremation done by his road manager. Some say it was a selfish and cruel act, but others say it was a fitting send-off that was true to Graham's outlaw nature. But that episode, which did gain Graham a great deal of posthumous fame, I think also served, among some at least, to trivialize the important things he did. And I felt there had to be another end to this story. And I found that element of redemption that I was looking for in what Graham's only daughter Polly is doing in Austin, Texas, to end the cycle of addiction in her family bloodline. I also found it in the healing and cathartic and transformative effect that Graham's music had on one of his songwriting partners who traveled all the way south to the very first time to attend a tribute show to Graham in Waycross in 2009. It is in this book, in its own waiting, but at least this is a cactus-free zone. This is not about a retelling of Joshua Tree. And I'm going to open this up to question and answer, but before I do, I just want to read one small excerpt from the end of the book. From Harvard's halls to the streets of Greenwich Village, to Florida's youth centers, family rooms in the South, porches, garages, to the Ryman, to long-forgotten concert halls and recording studios, we can now celebrate Graham Parsons, the artist and not the addict. Graham knew Jesus. He was brought up with it, said his former Birds compatriot Roger McGuinn. I'm not worried. I know Graham is in heaven. Thank you all very much.